Finally, we get to what potentially could be an absolute bloodbath, the Battle of Florida. So we have the battle of a province in Ontario, and now we have the battle of a state in Florida. Rematch of last year's first round as well, and these two teams have have they met over the past like 4 years now. It kind of feels like every year we get at least one Battle of Florida,
I think we've had I
three
think
or
we've had
four.
two. I think two. I think there was one in the not the bubble year, but the semi-bubble year, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
The like when they had the North Division. I believe they matched up that year.
that was the
And then
first
I
year
think
Florida made the playoffs. Then there was the year that Florida won the President's Trophy
yeah, with Andrew
with
Burnett.
Andrew Burnett.
I'm gonna look up here. Either way, you're right. Like we've seen this a couple times. One time it went in Tampa's favor, and one time it went in Florida's favor. I believe is what we have right now. And you're
I,
right. Like
I,
it's gonna be a bloodbath.
I feel like it's two in Tampa and one in Florida. And the one in Florida last year was the one where they won the cup. They do kind of have the bit of a mental edge over Tampa.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. We got three series here. So Panthers in 2020-21, first round matchup, lost to Tampa in 6 games.
mhm.
2021-22, second round matchup, got swept.
Eesh, tough,
Why are
yeah.
we forgetting this, right? Tampa,
That
yeah,
was the President's Trophy year,
yeah, yeah.
right?
And
Yeah.
then
So
last year they beat Tampa in five in the first round.
yeah.
Good
So
memory,
I mean,
Davo.
yeah, I mean, listen, this is the fourth series between the two, and all three previous series, they haven't gone the distance. I'm kind of hoping this one does go the distance, and I'm gonna say it for a selfish reason because should the Leafs end up getting through, and this also maybe if Ottawa ends up going through as well, it's probably for the best for both of those teams that this series doesn't wrap up before 6 games because you kind of want both of these guys to be a little bit more softened up it for the next round and kind of using a little bit more energy going the distance. But this is going to be a heavyweight tilt for the ages. Do you have a marquee matchup for me?
I definitely do. You've got one heavyweight for sure. I would call both of these guys heavyweights, though. I'm going back to the shutdown perspective here, but I'm going on the defense. Ryan McDonough has had a renaissance coming back to Tampa, where when he won two Stanley Cups,
Yep.
and he's going up against Florida's counterpart, Gustav Forsling, who was an absolutely incredible defenseman and really always last year on the way to the Stanley Cup for Florida. Who will be the better shutdown D man? I think that is gonna be part of what decides this series. Gustav Forsling, for his performance relative to last year, hasn't had as great of a year. Still really, really, really good. But I was very surprised to look into the numbers behind Ryan McDonough and find out I believe been the fifth best shutdown defenseman by looking at the athletics. They've got like basically rankings by it's Decision's formula, defensive rating, offensive rating is how he looks at him. And so here's the top five. Gavrikov one, Mikey Anderson two, so you got two LA guys there.
Yeah.
Braden McNabb three, Chris
Hmm.
Tanev four, Ryan McDonough five. Gustav Forsling on this list is 14th.
Okay.
So I think that these two are two of the best shutdown defensemen in the league. I want to see what they can do against all the firepower on either side.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have honestly. Ryan McDonough did not scream to me as being the fifth best uh defensive defenseman in
I
the
think our
NHL.
perspective is skewed by the Toronto Maple Leafs owning Tampa this year,
Maybe,
right?
maybe, and
Yeah.
also owning
Listen, I was
Ryan
surprised
McDonough
too.
in the past as well. Like, was he not a part of that Cup Finals run team as well?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the team that the Leafs beat in the first round. I think he was also there as well, or was he already gone by that point? Is he in
I'll double
Nashville?
check for
I
you here.
forget. But yeah, no, I think 100%. It just that does not scream to me as the guy who is the fifth. The other names definitely make sense. Like you said, Vlad Gavrikov, and I was like, okay, yeah, for sure. Um, well, that is pretty interesting actually. For me, I do have a couple of X factors for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, on the bold side, it's Andrei Vasilevsky. He's had a back-to-back bad playoff performances against the Leafs in 2023 and then against the Panthers last season. Hasn't really had the greatest of defensemen playing in front of him, I would say, especially even like last year. Like, it was Hedman, who wasn't fully healthy. Sergachev, I believe, was there as well. And then after that, yeah, I guess Ryan McDonough.
Chernak.
Yeah, Eric Chernak, but then it's like Jan Ruda, who's
Yeah.
I think he ended up leaving a couple of years ago as well. It hasn't been great. Like, just team defense for
You're always
them.
going to compare them to the two cup teams, right? That's why too, right? So listen,
100%.
yeah.
It's also last year was also the first time that he ever posted. He posted a career low 900 save percentage in the regular season. But this season has been a return to form for Vasilevsky. He's potentially could be on the ballot for a Vezina. There's a lot of
I believe the second best goalie since January 1st behind Connor Hellebuck, the guy who's going to win, right?
Yes.
Like, he's been that good.
How many goalies have we mentioned here where it's like they could potentially get Vezina votes? I think this one's a very realistic show. There's been some great goaltending performances this year, and it's been a return to form for Vasi, and he's going to have to outduel his Russian counterpart on the other side, who that whole team kind of has the mental edge over them. I know Tampa's won the first two series against them, like we mentioned, right? But last year, losing in 5, and that's coming after losing to the Leafs in 6, where back-to-back years you don't look like the world beaters that you know and should be. And you also, this year now, you're down Steven Stamkos and other key pieces. You bring back Yanni Gourde to kind of rejuvenate the middle six as well, to kind of get the boys back together. But it is going to be an interesting watch to see, can they rebound. And on Florida's side, I don't know if this is a name that you would have picked out, but I've got Maki Samoskevich, and I think it might just be because I love the name.
It's a great name.
Another rookie as well. Finished the year with 15 goals, 31 points in 72 games. He is honestly the exact same size as Jackson Blake, 5'11", 180 pounds. But
it's Dave's type of guy.
Yeah, undersized guy, chippy guy though.
Yeah.
Finished the year 5th in forward hits on the Panthers with 135. He also doesn't really take that many penalties. He's pretty defensively he's pretty responsible.
Disciplined,
Yeah, very disciplined. Doesn't turn over the puck as much as others. He ranks 9th in forward giveaways, so like with the least amount of giveaways. That means the only player that has played more minutes in that time this year is Eetu Luostarinen, one of his line mates as well. The only other thing though, doesn't really take away the puck as much, but he doesn't give away the puck. And if he can chip in with a couple of key goals in the series, that could be a key X factor for Florida, who's kind of looking for a little bit more from their bottom six, maybe from their, I don't know if he's going to play on their third or their fourth line. They could kind of do a little bit of both. Could be a guy that Pomo leans on going forward. So we'll see.
It's a really good shout, and yeah, he seems like one of those types of guys where it's like you'll notice about really just whenever a team becomes kind of the face of the league or just like the poster child team, they just turn not random dudes, but they are able to turn
guys into dudes.
Yeah. And like Maki Samoskevich, you read that like stat profile and everything, and I'm like, that's a Florida Panther. Like, you just gave me the prototypical Florida Panther, right? Passes the smell test, Dave. So
definitely does.
That's a good shout here.
Can he pass the eye test is now the real question, I think.
Yeah. I am really looking forward to this series. The firepower on both sides is incredible. I think these are probably two teams that I'd have in my top 5 for Stanley Cup contenders, and they're matching up in round 1. I think that's fair to say. Do you want to get into predictions here? I do. I honestly don't know where you're going, but I am going to go with Tampa. I am really feeling the Tampa momentum. You look at a lot of their numbers on the year, and I like I said, the McDonough stuff, surprising. And really, when you look at anything, like I'm not kidding, you can basically look at any type of team metric they are in the top 10. Like goals for, first on the year. Goals against, I believe they're, what do I have it here? Um, duh, duh, duh. The goals against is pretty good as well. Um, yeah, they're fourth in the league. I was looking in reverse order here. I'm like, where are these guys? No,
Wow.
they're the fourth best defensive team in the league. Their power play, surprise, surprise, fifth in the league. Penalty kill, sixth in the league. Like
Sources
everything, no
say
matter what. Sources say this
sources
team's
pretty good.
pretty good.
Pretty
And
good.
I can come out and say like I disrespected this team to start the year. I thought they were a wild card team.
Yeah,
I had the Sens
I do
over them.
remember that. Yeah, I do remember
I
you
had the
telling.
Sens over them. I was thinking, ooh, last playoff spot might come down to Tampa and Washington, and I like Washington. That was my big take, is that Washington's better than I thought that most people thought. Really disrespected Tampa. And now I'm really bought in. I think the number one name for me that I think is gonna be a difference maker, and if you look at the roster, he's kind of one of the only differences from last year, Jake Gensel,
Jake
stepping in
Guentzel.
for Steven Stamkos.
Oh yeah.
I mentioned Brady Tkachuk was the guy who struck fear into our hearts at the Four Nations. Nobody struck more fear into my heart than Jake Gensel. Nobody. And
A
we know
hundred
this guy
percent.
is a playoff beast.
Yeah.
Talked about Carolina. He was able to score for the Carolina Hurricanes in the playoffs. It's something
Even
that basically no one has done.
even
And they
on his
regret not
days
signing him.
even on his days with the Pens, man, like going back that far as well. Like
Oh,
he
yes.
is 100%. Yeah, and then the Four Nations came around and it was like, oh man, don't play Tampa in the first round, basically, because the guy
Yeah.
is about it 100%. On that note, though, I can't go against the reigning Stanley Cup champions. I think this is as split of a decision as there will be in any of these playoff series. This is a 51-49 split advantage I'm going to just give to the Florida Panthers in 7 games, but I can very, very easily see Tampa coming out of this. And like I said, please, God, just let it get to 7 games. Just give us 7 games of just unadulterated, just chaos. Just give me that. If there's one thing I want to see in this playoffs, it's that.